Hey guys, it's Austin here, and in today's video I want to talk to you about some useful tips and tricks and just general knowledge that's really good to know for the open beta coming up and also for the release. And if you like this video, if you want to see more of this, it would help me out a lot if you hit the like button or leave a comment. But let's go straight into it. So when you first enter the city, a good thing to do is gather up 16 rawhide leather, 40 stone blocks, and 40 wood, and then you don't have to leave the town for a while. And so in this video you'll see why. Basically I'll ask you to craft some stone blocks, some blocks and all that stuff, and you can do that before entering the city, so that's great. Another useful tip that I didn't really think about, but is all these lore pages and journal logs, they give a lot of XP, and you don't have to open and read them every time that you interact with them. If I just bring up this map here from newworldmap.com, there are so many lore pages. But each of these lore pages, I would say they give around 100 to 300 XP per. And whenever you go into these first initial, like basically everywhere you go where there's quests, there's lore pages, right? So I wouldn't say you need to keep a map open, but just going around clicking them by clicking T, you don't have to actually read them. It will give you a lot of extra levels, especially early on. Like clicking one lore page is the same as clicking like or killing 5 or 6 monsters, so that's a good tip. Just be aware that there's a lot of them where you're gonna go to your quest and they give a lot of XP, so that is really good. Now also, once you're done with crafting timber and all these things in the settlement, you'll be able to craft a weapon. This weapon that you'll be able to craft will be 200 gear score, which is gonna be 100 gear score higher than anything you want on the beach. But there is one thing about it is it will only be for melee weapons, right? Or a bow or gun. You won't be able to craft any staffs there because you need the arcana and you need some modes for that. But let's say you want to use a hatchet, a sword, an axe, or a hammer, you can craft that straight away. When you go to the city, you'll have enough materials to craft one, so you can pick up your starter weapon and you don't have to worry about trying to find one on the beach. The next tip I'm gonna talk to you about is you can craft better tools straight away. So if you want to upgrade your thin tools to steel tools, you don't need any crafting requirements, and you can use the level 2 crafting benches that is going to be in the city. All you need is 152 iron, 40 wood, and 24 rawhide. And I think even after crafting the weapons, you almost have enough wood and rawhide. You just need to collect a little bit more iron. 152 iron, that's like finding maybe 6 iron nodes. It's not that much. You can immediately craft better tools, and who would also want more speed, so I would get on that, and you're gonna find the iron like pretty fast too. Now the best way I found to craft food and get food is I'm gonna bring this up to show you. So to craft tier 1 food, you cannot use all these resources, but the best ones I found are nuts and milk. Let me just go into food and click on the light rations. To craft light rations, you can, like I said, milk, nuts, and all. Like when you want to get poultry or pork or game meat, it's whenever you skin an animal, it can take a really long time. But whenever you go to Monarch's Bluff or First Light, there's a cow in the town that you can milk once every hour, and it gives 20 to 25 milk, which then you can then craft into 25 food. So if you spawn in Monarchs or First Light, you're gonna have a lot of food if you interact with these cows. I don't think everybody knows about this, but it's a really good option. And otherwise, nuts are really good to they're basically around anywhere there's trees, and you can pick up like 50 of these in a span of like 5 minutes. So it's just the best way to get food early on. And for health potions, it's also super easy to make health potions. All you need is a bulrush, which you found around the small ponds, or you need hyssop. And hyssop is what you get from herbs, and herbs are pretty much in every zone and in areas where there's grass. So if we go look at this map, like pretty much anywhere there's grass or trees, you'll find these purple bushes that are called herbs, and it will give you hyssops. And you only need 1 hyssop per thing, and you get like 20 hyssops for 1 herb. You get a lot. So pick up these herb bushes, pick up some water, craft some health potion, and with the milk, with nuts, with the hyssops and a bit of water, you're gonna have unlimited amount of health potions and an unlimited amount of food. which is gonna keep you nice and healthy throughout your early leveling stages. Moving on, I want to talk to you a little bit about how leveling works in New World. It was very confusing to me. When I first got in and played New World, I didn't really understand what is going on. I'm in the zone and then it's like, I can't just keep being here. But I found this picture. I don't know who made it. I would love to give credit for it, but I can't. But basically, all these zones, as you can see, Monarchs is 1 to 25, Windspread is 1 to 24, First Light is 1 to 25, Everfall is 1 to 32. What that means in this game, the best thing I can kind of compare this to is The Witcher. In The Witcher, if you stray like a little bit away from your quest line, you're just gonna end up dying to high level monsters. And it's a little bit the same in this game, in the terms that if you try to stray a little bit away from the main quest line and the side quest, you're just gonna end up running into really high level monsters. And also the way New World is designed to be played is it's a little bit weird. Well, I say weird until you understand it. Basically, let's say we start in First Light. You're gonna be in First Light until you're level 1 to level 12. Then you can move on to any of these other zones, and then you usually get enough XP to go to 1 to 16. And then you have to move. Let's say we go First Light to Windspread, then on 16 you go to Monarch. Then you're typically like Monarch to level 18, and then you can go to Everfall and get to level 20. And then you can go back to all 3 zones and get and do more quests. But you can't just stay in First Light and do every single quest in First Light and then go to Windspread. You kind of have to progressively do like one step here, one step here, one step here, one step here, and then you can go back to the other zones. Just with the way that you need levels to unlock quests. I believe some of the side missions just unlock by themselves once you're 4 levels below the requirement. So you'll unlock more quests in zones by leveling up in other zones. And you just have to keep in mind that moving around, doing all these things is just kind of how New World is intended to be played. And I thought that was pretty confusing. It goes on, right? So in Cutlass, if you start here at 27, you won't be able to level here till 40. So for 27, you would have to do Cutlass Pride with Weavers. And then maybe go back to, you know what I mean? You kind of have to do these different zones and have to revisit them a few times once you get more levels in other zones. That's just like a basic way of how XP and leveling in New World works. Now, there's also fast travel zones in New World, and the picture I've prepared for this will show you with the numbers where the main quests are. And the reason why fast travels are super useful. And I just want to talk to you about the fast travel. The way it works is the more weight you have on your person, the more asset it costs to use the fast travel points. So I recommend before fast traveling, maybe just stash in a settlement that you're in. A choose one settlement you're in to stash frequently. Let's say your company or your faction owns Everfall. Whenever you're in Everfall, just make sure to stash all your excess stuff that you don't need to have on your person, or you know, wherever you want to make a main base. And one example is the main quest in the beginning, right? So these are the fast travel points. You can fast travel from a fast travel point to a fast travel point or to another city. So by picking up these fast travel zones, if you look at the main quest, first you have to go here, and then you have to go back down here, you know, and then you have to go over here, back down here, over here, back down here, over here. But the idea is, if you just drop all your stuff off in Everfall or whatever zone you want to stash in, you can literally just fast travel to all the quests. You don't have to do a lot of running, but if you're not using the fast travels and you don't pick up these fast shrines by just walking over them, you're gonna have to do so much running. And the fast travels really help. And as long as you're doing side quests, you're killing monsters, you're getting asset, so you'll never really run out unless you stop doing your side quests and you're always like max weight while fast traveling. So I recommend that you maybe get used to stashing a little bit and then using the fast travels a lot more and just see how much asset you actually have to fast travel. So that's one tip, to not run so much, because otherwise there's a lot of running in this game. And now, on top of all the side missions and the main quest, there's also additional ways to get XP. I want to mention that the faction missions, which is you know, your covenant, at the top row there's called PvE faction missions that does not require you to PvP flag. They give a lot more experience than the PvP missions. So what I found out to work really well is whenever you go back to your, like let's say you pick up some side quests, you also pick up PvE faction quests And then whenever you have your faction quest nearby your quest line, you go and do them. But whenever you go to town and handing quest, you wanna pick up new PvE faction missions, and it's just gonna give you a lot more XP. And these faction missions is usually, hey, go loot a couple of chests, go kill some dudes, or kill one dude. So they're really easy to do, and you can get them, and a lot of times just right next to where your quest is, or in the exact same place. And doing those will give you a lot more XP. So be on top of that. Now, the town board missions is probably a hot topic if you don't already know. They've been nerfed a lot. So the gather ones got nerfed by 30% XP, and the gather ones weren't that great. And then the ones where you crafted boxes were the one that gave big XP. They got nerfed by 50%. But the town board missions that could be good, that I'm definitely gonna do, that haven't been nerfed, is gonna be whenever you go to a town where the town hall is, there's a board. You can talk to the... But is it a governor of the town? There's like a chick next to a big town board or the big table. But they will give you town board quests, right? And the ones that are good are the ones where you can kill a wolf, kill a chicken, kill a turkey, kill a rabbit, kill a deer. Those are great. They still give the same XP as they used to before. And also, on top of that, things like handing in food, handing in potions, and some of these other ones, at least according to the patch notes today, doesn't seem to be changed. So whenever you go to a city, just look to see if there's one where you can kill wolves and, you know, just get a bit more XP. That you don't have to go out of your way to do, but as soon as you travel around the world, you'll just see whenever you run past a turkey that'll have this white quest icon over their head, and you're like, oh, I can kill this chicken without really thinking much about it. And then whenever you go back to that town to pick up more quests, you'll get a chunk more XP. So that's a great way to level on top of just doing side missions and main missions, is to pick up your PvE faction missions and town board missions that make sense. We'll have to get a feel for it once we get it in play, but those are the ones that I recommend. The ones where you kill goat, sheep, they're not great. There's not a lot of them. But wolves, turkeys, deers, rabbits in general, you'll see loads of just by traveling around the map. I think those are some of the things that are most important. Quickly, I just want to talk about my weapon of choice. I'm gonna be going for a warhammer and a great axe, and I have a hatchet. So the way I'm gonna do it is, in my main weapon slot, I'm gonna swap between the hatchet and the great axe. In the second slot, I'll have a hatchet just for healing. I'm not saying this is what you should do, but I'm gonna try to explain what I'm doing and why I'm making this decision. Now, these are the 4 monster types that have affinities. So let's say wolves, for example, they're just neutral to pretty much everything. But against skeletons and undeads, which is not just these guys, it's whenever you go to a graveyard, whenever you go to a beach and you see ghost pirates, the hammer is gonna do extra damage to them. So the hammer is awesome against lost and ancients, and it does a lot of damage against them. And then against corrupted and angry earth, I'm gonna be using the great axe. And it's just because of the affinities, right? In the beginning, I think like 80% of enemies are weak to the warhammer, so I think that's a great weapon to pick up early on. And then the great axe obviously has some of the best tracking in the game. And for the warhammer, just pick the left side. This is level 1, 2, and 3, and then after this you can pretty much do whatever you want. But if you pick up these 3 skills, you're gonna have a good time with the warhammer. I'll guarantee it. It's a lot of fun to use, and all the monsters are weak to it. That's gonna be it for this video. These are all the tips I want you to understand and maybe practice. And if you get a good feeling for this, you're gonna have a good launch. You're never gonna be struggling for XP. You're gonna have plenty of food to eat. You're gonna try and pick some weapon choices that are good against the different things. And I think you're gonna have a lot of fun. I really like this game, and I hope you do too. Once again, if you want to help me out, leave a like, leave a follow, leave a subscription, all those things, leave a comment. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.